Guys, welcome back to Brit's Book Corner. Today's video is going to be about my February reading and writing goals. Let's talk about my reading goals. My reading goals for February are pretty simple, but they might be a little difficult for me to accomplish because I'm giving myself the reading goal of 5 books in February. But each one of those books is going to be assigned a genre in which I want to read from in the month of February. So for those 5 genres, I have historical romance, paranormal romance, contemporary romance, and YA. I read one book in the historical romance genre, and the reason is I started reading romance by reading historical romances. And it was one of my resolutions this year to read more historical romance books, and I'm still not reaching for historical romance books. And I feel like in February, if I can challenge myself to read one, I can challenge myself to read one every month. And giving myself this challenge, I should be able to reach it and actually enjoy doing it. I also want to read 2 paranormal romance books. Paranormal romance used to be my go-to genre of romance. And I've kind of fallen out of that paranormal aspect. And I want to focus on that. I have books that I absolutely love in the paranormal genre, and I just haven't read them. And I feel like giving the paranormal genre 2 books, I can kind of dabble in 2 different types of paranormal romances and still meet my goal, as well as meet my own personal goal to read more of the books that are sitting on my shelf versus one strict genre. I also want to read one contemporary romance. Contemporary romance has been what I've been reaching for ever since, God, I can't even remember. And contemporary romance, it has been my niche for now. And I want to break out of that. I want to read more than just contemporary. So I'm limiting myself to only one contemporary romance. And I'm telling myself only one. And that's it, just one, and then I'm going to try to read something else. My last and final book of my 5 for my February goal is I want to read one YA book, whether it's dystopian, paranormal, Harry Potter, something. I want to read one YA book in February because I do want to step toward reading that genre again and seeing if I can actually find a series that I want to read and continue to read that series as I go through February and throughout the rest of the year. Now let's talk writing goals. My writing goals are very different from my reading goals, obviously. I want to set goals writing-wise that will challenge me, but that I know I can keep. The first writing goal I have is I want to write 5 days a week. Meaning Monday through Friday. I want to stop writing on the weekends. I want to stop focusing on writing on the weekends. I want to use the weekends for family time. So I don't want to write or anything or have to worry about meeting goals over the weekend. So writing 5 days a week is going to be my main goal for February. Going along with that goal, I also want to write at least 2,000 words a day. I feel like 2,000 words a day is a good amount of words, and that's good bone structure for the chapters that I'm trying to set forth in the book that I'm writing. So 2,000 words is very doable, and I can spread it all out throughout the day and work around my schedule, my kids' schedule, my household cleaning schedule. I can work 2,000 words in at any point in the day and hopefully continue to meet that goal of the 5 days a week that I'm writing. So my next goal is to finish the manuscript for the project I'm calling Project Bet. I want to finish this manuscript. I've been writing it for about a week now, and I want to finish this manuscript by the end of February. I want to kind of challenge myself as a mock NaNoWriMo to see if I can do it, to see how well I actually write when I take the time, but also take days off, as well as I want to just get it finished so that it can sit and I can get ready to read through it and other things like that. Next goal is to make and finalize decisions on titles. One being for Project Bet, because I still don't have a title for that, and I'm not real sure exactly where I want the title to be for that. I want to make and finalize a title for my Nano 2019 project because I'm not really sure I like that title anymore, and so I want to make that title better. Last goal is to do a second read through of my Nano 2019 project. That is currently in the beta reading stages, and I want to refresh my memory before I start receiving feedback at the end of January about what I think is wrong with it, what I need to work on, and if I actually have time to start revising it on the feedback I already have from beta readers who excelled and got it in early. So that's it for my February 2020 goals. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed talking about my goals because it made things come to the forefront of my mind. And if you stay tuned for a few more seconds, you'll be seeing a book haul from Goodwill and Barnes & Noble. This book haul off with Barnes & Noble. I only bought 2 books at Barnes & Noble only because they didn't really have the authors that I wanted to purchase from, and I only bought books that caught my eye as I walked past. The first one being Hard to Handle by Lori Foster. I read this book back in high school, and I only vaguely remember that the main male character is a professional fighter. I remember the cover really well. I remember actually reading this. I just can't remember details of this book. And as I walked by, I seen it, and my mind said, hey, let's read it. So I grabbed this book. The last book from Barnes & Noble is The Aussie Next Door by Stephanie London. As I was walking through the aisles, I was looking for specific authors, and I seen this book. The cover caught my eye. The fact that it said Aussie Next Door automatically made me think of Australia, and because it's my dream place to go, I will read any books based in Australia, which this book is. I've read one other book based in Australia, and I absolutely loved it, which is part of the reason I grabbed this book. I'm super excited to read this book, as well as just know what it's about and give you guys the review on it. Goodwill, and I only bought 1 book at Goodwill, and it was Nope. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I really would appreciate it if you comment down below and you tell me if you've read any of the books that I've shown you here today, or if you have any questions about anything I talked about in this video. Please feel free to like and subscribe as well. Follow me on Instagram, which will be linked down below, and have a great day, guys.